And welcome to Hair Mafia, guys. Yay! Thank you for listening.
Welcome back. Welcome, new listeners.
New and old. We appreciate you. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in.
Okay.
What'd you do this weekend?
Nothing. No,
you sound like me.
I just told my friend Mikey, I was like, I'm not going out. I looked at puppies. I went out to eat. I actually worked this weekend since, it was just like a weird week. And I made some exceptions.
Yeah.
But that was it. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching White Lotus.
Oh, man, that is so good. I have not watched this past one yet.
I was wondering why we didn't talk about it, but this episode was like, duh, whatever. And then they showed the preview. So this episode kind of like sets up
gotta
like
watch
it's
it.
getting good.
Yeah,
but anyways.
yeah, I've been loving it. I loved the first season. Love the second. When is Euphoria coming out is my only question.
Yeah.
Or season 3 of Euphoria, whatever.
So.
I did nothing this weekend. Cleaned my house, rearranged my bedroom, did some stuff, whatever. Speaking of shows, and we've talked about this, I've been watching on Netflix I Am a Stalker.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Like you upgraded now.
Like I really do. Oh, I Am a Killer. I've only watched like one episode of that one. I fell asleep to it. It was that soothing. But the I Am a Stalker. So I really find it interesting. These people are crazy, obviously, but I'm like, I didn't think stalking could get so intense.
Okay, really quickly, tell them about the one episode where the guy was like, I bought a taser, I bought a gun, I bought this. And I was like, I just wanted to talk. And then he like...
Okay, so this guy is incarcerated for 45 years for aggravated stalking. So it's like, that's pretty bad. And it's not just a casual interview. Like a lot of these interviews are just, a few feet away. This dude's behind the glass, like with earpieces in. So he's a psycho. Mm-hmm. But it's just, he ends up stalking the whole family for a long period of time. But in the culmination of his stalking journey, he was like, well, I went and I just wanted to give her parents a final goodbye, but I wasn't going to do anything. I mean, so I bought these toy handcuffs and a toy taser, and I was just going to scare them and tell them I don't want any part of this family anymore. And it's like, what?
Well, first of all, there's not really toy things.
Not maybe handcuffs, yes, but not a toy taser. And I'm like, who are you? You've been stalking them for over a year, and now you're wanting to say I'm done, I'm out. Total delusional. And basically he just tases the parents. And I'm like, what?
It's not funny. But,
no, it's not funny. But I'm like,
but you told me the dad had a heart attack.
Yeah, because so his woman that he was seeing for the whole story was weird. She was 25 years older. She left her husband for him, and then he turns out to be a weirdo. But so she's in her 50s. So her parents are
70.
Yeah. They're not young. So
At least. Give or take.
Yeah. And so they're just coming home from an evening of whatever, dinner, I don't know, bingo, whatever the elderly do. And he's just there waiting in the bushes to just say goodbye, and he tases them. He's like, all I did was walk up and they got scared. So I just tased him. And
Is this the one that stole the car too? And he got a bigger sentence because of the what is it, Grand Theft Auto or something?
No, he actually got sentenced that long because it was aggravated robbery.
Yeah.
And even though he got aggravated assault, and what's where you go against your VPO, where you just violate it. That wasn't even a big charge, which to me is really sad. But here's my deal. Okay, so he's Hispanic. She's Hispanic. Her parents are Hispanic. She's got 3 sisters that he's stalking with boyfriends and a brother. And I'm like, do y'all not know anybody? Are there no crazy friends that y'all have? Huge family? How is this one guy terrorizing the whole family? The whole family.
Well,
3 girls and a boy, the parents. A couple of those girls have boyfriends. I'm like, Did no one just to think to beat the hell out of this guy, or like friends, or like?
But here's what confused me about this. Where was his like why did he have to say his final goodbye? Like, I don't want anything. Like, they left him alone.
Because he's delusional. So he left thousands of letters, and he wasn't mailing them. They were like on the car, on the front porch, just letters, tons of them. And I'm like, how does it? I mean, all I would have to do is call like one person and be like, this dude's bothering me.
But I'm like everybody knows a couple of goons.
Yeah, but I'm like, out of this whole family, why is this scrawny guy, because he's not big, just terrorizing everybody? And it's not funny like you're saying, but I'm like,
well, it's
why did it happen that way?
I'm like,
and this went on for over a year.
You're 50 something. Why are you doing?
No, he wasn't. His woman is 50.
So how old was he?
30. No, I had said that
crazy.
previous. He met her when he was in his early 20s, and she's in like her mid 40s, and she left her husband for him. Yeah.
So
and her kids.
Maybe some grooming went on.
Man, I hope not. I don't know. But so anyways, I'm watching I Am a Stalker.
Well, you're watching I Am a Murderer.
Yeah, I'm a killer.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, since my weekend sucked, I have a joke.
Oh, let's hear it.
What does a deaf gynecologist do?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Omar, Luis, do you know? He reads lips.
Oh. That's a good one. That is a good one. Does he know sign language?
He knows how to use his fingers. There we go.
We were talking, it was funny, we were talking today about a trip to the, gyno.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say whose client said this or did this or whatever, but it's like, I hope you don't care. My hair's really dirty. Is that okay? And I'm like, okay, can we just not do? I get like, hey, I didn't wash it for a couple days, or, I washed it yesterday, but not today, and I'm coming in and I'm getting my hair done.
Or I'm coming in for a wash.
Or yeah. But this whole, I'm going 8 days without washing it, and then we have to deal with all of it. I'm like, and then that's whenever, I was like, well, you don't go to your yearly exam, talking about with dirty vajayjay, not washing it for 8 days or whatever women are doing. But I'm like, but it's still your hair. It's like, it's a big deal. Visible. Yes. And sometimes it does stink. But like whenever you just don't wash it, dry shampoo only goes so far.
So this makes me think of something, because I'm like, okay, you were like, oh, you don't go and not like wash your vajayjay. But I'm like, I've had conversations with people who
girls are nasty. Not me.
I don't know why this is a debate. I don't get it. People don't wash their legs. Do you wash your legs?
I do, yes.
No, I mean, but like, some people think that letting the soap run down.
That does not count.
I'm like, you need to like
wash.
I don't care if you use your hands, a loofah, gloves,
right,
something.
Right.
Some people just hit the hot spots and just go. And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, it's okay if you just put the soap on your body, but I'm like, you need some sort of like agent.
Yeah.
Something to get the bubbles in there.
And we've talked about this before, because I was listening to like, it was like The Cat or something, like morning in the morning. And, and they had polled women, like, what's the body part that you wash the least? Automatically comes to my mind, I'm thinking like my back, because it's hard to reach.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the only thing that I think of. These women are calling in my feet. I'm like, what? Your feet? That's the part that gets washed.
But y'all want somebody to suck on your toes.
The least. That's the part that gets washed the least. And then they're like, they're saying the same thing. We like, why your feet? Well, because you get like pedicures like once a month. And I'm like, y'all bitches are gross.
I did have an interesting conversation with somebody. I don't know why I keep trailing off into this, but like hanging out with some guy, it goes kind of sexual. And I was like, what are you into? And he was like, I like armpits. And I was like, oh. I was like, so if I let you lick my armpits, do you have like a preference or something? And he was like, well, not shaved. And I was like, I mean, I would trim them. I don't want you just like slurping it. It just looks like, you
You'd be
gelled my
choking
arm,
on hair.
flossing.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it's prickly. And I said, okay, well, I don't know. I'll spice it up and put like some peanut butter on it, make it worth your time down there. He was like, that's cool. And I was like, oh, take me home. I'm tired of being at Dave & Buster's.
People are freaky. Either way, that's fine. Just keep your shit washed. I don't even know what else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Keep the coot and prune shoot all
so
clean.
Weird. And your legs.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I don't know. Okay.
Today, we're going to talk about how people surprise you.
Oh,
switch pitch on you.
Yes.
This is a story of...
This is so fun. It's a fun
Should
story
we come up with a
tell.
fake name for him?
No. We're not going to come up with a fake name for any of these people because they don't listen.
Back in June, we transitioned to a new spot. Mm-hmm. And this is the story of Mike. I want to be like Mike.
Well,
it all started off great.
It did. So let's...
This is more of a you, and I will chime in.
Well, yeah, but let's start with, whenever you decide to open up a salon, and I'm just going to breeze through this part really fast. I always, I have to ask myself about, 10 or 12 times, do I really want to open up a salon? Do we want to expand? It's a big investment. It's a big change. Moving sucks, all of the things. I've had great contractors before. The group that built out the Paseo did amazing. Like, he was trying to get a hold of me. Like, hey, I had sent you an email, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I've been working like all week. I haven't even checked, very on top of everything.
The best of the best
locally. And he's oh yeah. I was really like humbled, and I didn't even feel worthy that he actually built out our salon because he has built, he built Frida in Oklahoma City. He built None Such. He built the Tiki, Flamingo Tiki.
Yeah.
I mean, he's built a ton. He really is mainly, I think, restaurant, but I do his wife's hair. And I didn't even know whenever we were moving into the Paseo, when I signed the lease, his office just happened to be next door at the time. And he reached out to me and he was like, you've made my wife so happy, what,
let me return the favor.
Let me, but obviously I paid,
Yeah.
but I was like, okay, great. Like, and I was like, wow, I'm spoiled.
Because he was like, I don't really do stuff like this. He's like, but it's a small little project.
Yeah, I'm next door. I'm here anyway.
His hair. You can tell his mind just always, it's like he's good at,
he's super
it's always
smart.
Going. It doesn't seem hard.
He's very
for him at
professional. He's very nice.
And handsome.
Oh, very. Yeah, very nice. Yeah,
like,
very
I think
handsome.
he knows it, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah. And his wife's super pretty, super sweet, genuinely sweet. They're a great pair, power couple. Anyway, so they're
going
great.
From that to
He's
this.
great. So I'm like, okay. I asked him if he would build this out, and he said, unfortunately, I don't do salons. I did do that for you because you were right there. It was tiny, but he really is that busy. So I was like, okay. Well, my client at the time, and this is just me being nice, she was like, well, I just got my real estate license, so I won't charge you for anything, but if you want, I can start looking at like properties for you in, the Nichols Hills area where we wanted to be. And I'm like, that's fine. So we do that. She's nice. Because now, even if they do find like a property for you to lease, you still have to pay a commission a lot of the time, which is fine. So.
But I met her and I was like, Tracy, she's weird.
She is fucking weird.
And I was like, there's something off about her.
She is weird, but she did negotiate like the contract. I mean, because they're like serious now. Like, you can't just be like, hey, I want to lease it. All right, cool. Like, you do have to like still negotiate, do a contract, do these things. So she did all of that legwork, which I appreciated.
Yeah,
so we get our building, talk to the landlord, yada, yada, yada. And then she says, well, do you have a contractor? And I said, no, not yet. I mean, I'm sure we could find one to just come and tour. We don't need a lot of stuff done. The landlord was going to do all the demo and just put it in like a white box. And, we obviously have to do our plumbing, add in any electrical that we need, the stations, but it's a fairly open building. So it's not like we're building it from the ground up. We don't have to pull tons of permits because it was already built. Like, it's not like a new build. Blah, blah, blah. She said, well, my fiance does construction, and if you want, you can have him and his guy come up here, give you a quote. You don't have to use them. I'm like, all right, fine. So we meet them up there. She comes up, her fiance comes up, this man comes up, they're all like, okay, this is what we're going to do. My plumbing was my biggest issue.
Trenching.
Yeah, all of that stuff, landlord was like, use who you want, or you can use my guys, blah, blah. So I agree to use them. He gets the plumbing done in about 1.5 weeks. It was he did a great job. All the things, they had to knock down a wall and put up a new doorway. They got all of that done really fast. And then everything just stopped.
So kind of like a little segue though. We have to introduce Mike.
No,
Remember he came and visited us at the Paseo? He was like, let me meet you.
Well, this was after.
Was that after that?
Yes.
But I think we have to set it up because he was like, so.
No, I know. But so I'm just going into like how it got to us just meeting him.
Thought that happened before.
No.
Okay, so as this was happening.
Gotcha. This is Mike. He did all of the plumbing. Everything was good. But then everything else just stopped. Mm-hmm. The painting stopped. No flooring was being laid.
Yeah.
Nothing was kind of being done. Yeah, it was just nothing for...
Started getting hard to get a hold of.
Hal is the other guy's name. So I'm like, okay. I asked this girl, I'm like, hi, I don't want to put you in the middle, but have you talked to him? Yeah, girl, we're just going through some shit with his ex-wife and she's like addicted to Adderall, but like everything's fine.
He's in a hotel right now. He's trying to sell his house. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm not even getting commission on selling his house, but that's whatever. I don't even know. Maybe we should just
money in advance.
And I'm like, okay, I don't care about any of that. Like
he was in his early 20s.
Yeah. I'm like, when can the floors be laid? Like, what are we doing here? So he kind of just quit working.
And he was telling you weird stuff too. He was like, the flooring you got is not load bearing. You need to build the floor around the station. I don't even know what he was. Yeah, he said that we had to put all of our furniture in and then put flooring around there. And I'm like, bro, that doesn't even sound. He's like, you'll never be able to move it.
So I was like, none of this even makes sense. So.
And then he was like, and then he tried to say the floor was uneven. And
the floor was uneven, but he said you had to give me a break.
Concrete it.
Yeah, he's like, you need to do anything. And I'm like, basically he just didn't want to do it. So I end up telling her, you know what? I can't get a hold of your man. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Sending you weird texts at 4 a.m.
Well, that happened later.
Okay. Let me just let you do
No. But so all of this is happening. I'm like, I ain't going to use him anymore. She was like, I'm so sorry. I agree. He fell off the wagon, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I'm really sorry about that. Like, I know how it is. I have family that goes through that. So,
but low-key, he did better work when he was off the wagon than when he was on.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, does he need beer? I mean, or whatever. But I'm like, no hard feelings. I don't owe him any money. He doesn't owe me any money or work. It just kind of stopped. So then I message his friend, Mike. And I'm like, are you still working? Because I don't know what to do. I asked Josh's brother to lay the floors. And Mike's like, Tracy, I'm going to do what I said, and I'm going to have you in there by June 1st. How? I don't know what he's doing, but I ain't going to do that. I'm like...
And you should have fired him a long time ago.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, okay, cool. So let's like move forward. Like, let's get going. Because at this point, it's like May 1st. I'm like, we have like 4 or 5 weeks to get in. I'm like, and you don't want all that furniture showing up?
And you can't put it in there.
Yeah, because of whatever. So he's like, I'm going to build the cabinets. I'm going to do all this, all that.
And this is literally how he talks. Like, this is not an exaggeration.
Yeah. So he comes up to the Paseo. He's like, I just want to get a look at like how, like y'all, like what design y'all want. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I did trust him and he did do good work. So I was like, cool. Mm-hmm. And he introduced himself. That's whenever he came up, he was super nice. And he was like, this is how much it's going to be. And he never asked for any money up front.
Nope.
And he was just like, this is all what it is. And he said, this is the materials. This is the labor. I'll get it done. Whatever.
And he's older, slow moving, but the work is solid.
Right.
I went up to the new location and met him.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I love AJ's nice.
Well, at first he was like, oh, some guy came up to do it, and you were like, was it AJ? He was like, I can't remember his name. And you were like, well, he's black. And he's like, Tracy.
He's like, well, I wasn't going to talk like that. And I'm like, well, but he is black. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, because you were there. Josh had been in and out. John Jay had been in and out.
There were so many men, even though there's not a lot of men that work up there. Right,
so I'm like, John Jay and AJ sound alike, whatever.
So again, this paints a picture of like, he's very cautious and nice and...
yeah, whatever.
Sensitive.
Yeah. Sensitive is the word. So...
yeah.
Things go well for about a week, and then...
after you promised to do cabinetry, electrical,
finish it. John Jay was going to do the flooring, frame stuff out. So now Mike has decided just to quit working. And I don't really know how, because I'm like, hey, I bought all of the material at wherever I bought the covering for the plywood and all the stuff. I said, you haven't even brought it up. And it is now Memorial Day weekend. And here we are. He's like, Tracy, I'm trying. He's like, my daughter, I had to put her in rehab. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I'm sorry, whatever. So what I think really kind of pushed him over the edge is because I was done talking to him about it. My boyfriend had just gotten laid off for like the 50th time. And he is like, I'm going to talk to him. So I don't really think that Mike liked direction from another male.
Yeah, because that's when he really ramped up.
Oh, that's when he really
I'm telling y'all, this story gets so good to me.
No, the end is just all. This is basically almost the end of the story. So he just keeps putting us off. Josh is like, I think you should just get somebody else because this motherfucker ain't doing shit. I call him, I say this, he won't answer his phone. Like,
he's built the cabinets, won't bring him up.
He was like,
he brings them up there with no doors.
Yeah, and then he's like, he's just like all this stuff. He's like, I don't get it. Still hasn't asked for money.
You see his ass hanging out the ceiling, like literally. It's just like, what are you doing up there?
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, ugh. Well, so. I call Mike and he's like, I don't want to do any business with your Josh. And I'm like, okay, what do you need from me? He's like, I'm going to need $3,000. I'm like, for what? I'm like, I have ordered everything for you. That's how you wanted to do it. I'm not paying you until it's done.
Until you install it, like bring it
up there. You keep like showing me like pictures of a door to the cabinet. I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you $5. Like, I know how it works. So then he's like, I'm going to come up there. I just need $500 to go get some stuff, to go get some material. I'm like, okay.
And Josh at this point has offered to take him because he's like,
talking
I ain't got a way to bring it up
car.
there. I can't come up there today because I took my wife to her AA meeting.
Yeah. So then Josh waited up there for him all day on a Monday and never showed up. He's like, Josh, my good friend had some leaky faucets in Yukon. And, he had company coming that night. So I had to fix them. It's like, okay, well, just text us or call us or whatever. So he's like, but I'm going to be up there in the morning to get that check from you. So we had a check for $500 written out for Tuesday morning. Like, Josh was like, okay, I'm going there. I had a hair package coming in that he had to sign for at the time because I had overnighted it. So, because I did early delivery, like before 9 a.m., I paid extra.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He signed it, and then he immediately heads up there. Mike's calling him. The first thing he says, where the fuck you at? Josh is like, excuse me? He's like, I'm on my way. He's like, I'm literally,
I'm 10 minutes
He's
away.
like, I'm getting off Wilshire right now. He said, I can't do this all day. And Josh is like, motherfucker, I waited for you all day yesterday for like 6 hours and you didn't even answer my phone or nothing.
In the middle of Josh talking, what did he do?
He hung up.
No, he goes, hurry up.
Oh, yeah. And then he hung up. He said, hurry up. And then he hung up. And then Josh is like, okay.
I think, didn't he call him again?
He was like,
he calls him. You at?
So he calls him again like 2 minutes later. Where you at? And he's like,
I'm waiting.
He's like, I'm done. I can't do this. Josh is like, dude, we've been waiting for you for like weeks. Like, you haven't done anything. You haven't done any of your plumbing that you said you were going to finish. No electrical. Like, you haven't put anything on the cabinets. He never painted the cabinets. Like, nothing.
And then, like, in between, like, when he did do some work, you'd be like, hey, like, where are you? And he was like, it's hard to get all this stuff done when y'all keep blowing up my damn phone.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, this old bastard.
He said, I just need a rolled one and a cold one.
Yeah, he would always
his
say
one-liners
that.
were great, but I'm like, how evil he turned.
Yeah. I don't even... So that was a bad day for Josh because he's like, I'm ready to fight this son of a bitch because...
She said, Josh will kill him.
That's what I said. I'm like, this guy's in his like late 60s. Like, not that Josh is like super in shape, but when he gets mad, he's tough.
I don't know, because he was doing that work at the salon and he fell off the ladder and hurt his elbow. And he's like, Tracy, I could have died and you didn't even come up.
Whatever.
Didn't you go up there and he was sitting like crisscross?
No, I didn't go up there.
He's like, what did he say? My favorite line, he goes, what if I would have fell on a screwdriver?
Because I guess you would have. So it was a bad day for Josh because he was mad. He pulls up. Mike's not there. But our FedEx truck is there full of all the stations. And he's like, I'm sitting there. I'm pissed off because of Mike. I'm trying to call him. He won't answer. And then I see FedEx drop a whole pallet of our stations.
Threw him off.
Out just onto the concrete. He said, and then I got the Luigi's guy yelling at me because my FedEx truck is like in his parking lot.
And FedEx is saying y'all needed to provide a lift for them to like,
which we paid for it. A lift gate's like an extra $250. And then FedEx billed us because it said the delivery took too long. I'm like, yeah, because you dropped a pallet. So we had to clean it up. We never heard from Mike again. Literally never. Never. Like, I tried to call him again. Josh tried to call him again. So he literally left us high and dry.
He did.
He did.
And somehow you made it work like you always do. And the most we really heard from Mike is about his PVC pipe.
Yeah, he's like, I left a PVC pipe up there. That's $40 right there. Yeah. I'm like, stick the 40 in your pee hole. I'm just like, not that all contractors are like that, because I know there's good and bad and everything, but we just thought that was kind of a funny story. It really was a funny story. It was super stressful.
Because we really wanted to get there in June, and we thought about pushing back.
Well, we couldn't push back because my lease ended, and I had already given Jeremy a notice, and other people were already moving in. So we had to move in. So
word to the wise. Find a great contractor.
And I should know this, but I was just trusting. Like, I was like, okay, well, they're pretty good. We talked to them, and they both started off great. They're like, here's receipts, here's this, like all the stuff that I'm used to. They didn't ask for money up front, because that's always a red flag. Like, well, I need this to get started. Like, they were just like, no, just pay us at the end, or we'll give you your receipt, and they didn't seem, and it's not that they ever owed me money or owed me work and vice versa. They just stopped.
Yeah, like they just got tired. He was so gung-ho, and then it was like he'd half install like the cabinetry. It wasn't painted. There weren't any doors. And you're like, Mike, this was great. Will you finish? He was like, well, if you don't like my cabinetry, I can just take it back.
Yeah, he said, yeah, if you don't like my work, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Mike, if you're out there and you happen to just see this clip, I miss you.
Yeah, we miss your one-liners, Mike.
We would call just
really
so you
funny.
could cuss us out.
Yeah, that would be fine with us. Or you could always be a guest and just sit around and do one-liners. We honestly thought, I wish that I had some like recorded one-liners and we could use them as our sound effects of Mike's one-liners.
Like when we run out of time, hurry up.
Yeah, and like we want to say that to like clients who come in, where you at? Like, clients that are late or something. I'm like, we need Mike-isms.
Yeah. And Mike, I hope everything worked out between your daughter and Santiago.
Yes, because Santiago was not a very nice person, I gathered.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's our episode about Mike.
How we came to our new location.
Mm-hmm.
We love y'all. Happy Monday.
Happy
Have a good
Monday.
rest of your week. And be safe as always. Cut it out. I miss him.
Good old Mike.